Okay, let me just start the recording. All right, so my name is Susan. I'll be taking you through for introduction to functional areas of management and also fundamentals of business management. Out of those who are here, how many of you are doing introduction to functional areas and how many are doing fundamentals of business? Can you just state which one you are doing?
I'm currently doing introduction to functional areas of management.
Okay, and the others, Kumoto?
Hi,
Okay, do we
Susan.
have, hi,
Functional areas of management.
okay. Do we have anyone doing fundamental? I see we are left with who and who? Okay. Introduction to functional areas, that's Theo. That leaves only, there's only one person who didn't respond. Who is that one? Let me see. Okay, it must be Komutso.
I'm doing fundamentals of business management.
Okay, so far you are the only one doing fundamentals of business management. Don't worry, the
Okay.
study guides are exactly the same. But as we go through, we'll be combining for the study guide lessons. Then when we do the exam preparation and the revision, we'll be doing for both fundamentals of business management and introduction to functional areas of management. So it's going to benefit all of you. Even if we do a paper for fundamentals of business management, it's okay because those same questions can still be asked for introduction to functional areas of management. So today we are supposed to be having our introductory class, and I'm used to having more people on the introductory class. I don't know, could there be a reason why there is so few of you? Maybe the link was sent late or something. When was the link sent?
It was sent, I think around 5, 6. It was sent late. Then
It was
also,
sent
I'm not
late.
sure which group also it was sent because I only saw it in paid FM. I'm not sure if it was shared, the link was shared to other groups.
Oh, okay. Is there anyone who got it on a free group?
I got it on the free group.
Oh, okay. For fundamentals
Yes.
of business.
Yes.
So for introduction to functional areas, no one got it on the free group? Paid group?
Yeah, it was a group, I think so.
Okay. So no, it's fine. We can still proceed, but maybe I can hear from you. Would you like to reschedule when more people have been told? Because we are likely to repeat what we have done when others come. Would you like us to proceed or would you like us to put on hold? Because the link should have been sent maybe yesterday. Theo says, let's continue. What about the others?
Okay, yeah, we may continue.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
continue.
All right. So today what we want to look at, it's just the introductory class. So we are not going to go into much detail. Usually the introductory class should take about 30 minutes, but we have already taken about 10, 15 minutes. So it might be slightly longer. So like I said, these two modules, when you look at the study guide, they are the same. The exams, however, when they come, they are different. But any question that you find for EFAM, you can also find it on FBM. So I'll go through the layout of the module first, of the study guide. First, we look at what is management. Then we are going to move into organizing. On what is management, we'll look mainly on planning, organizing, leading, and controlling as being the core functions of management. And that's what I want us to look at today, the definitions and the basics of planning, organizing, leading, and controlling, like general basics, okay? Without going into much detail, then we are also going to look at organizing in more detail, looking at things like organizational culture, looking at things like the principles of organizing, the 14 principles of organizing, and so on. Then we'll look at the structures of management, the different structures that you'll find in management. Then we go into the different functional areas of management. We'll start with marketing. What is marketing? The research of marketing, what we will be doing there, the branding, pricing, different pricing methods, and so on. After marketing, we'll look at financial management, human resources management, operations, and information management. Then after this, we'll start on the exam preparation. Even while we are going through the lessons, we will be covering the exam preparation. What I want to do this semester, with your permission, if you want, is that whenever we cover a topic and we finish it, or a unit, we can then look for a past paper and revise that unit. But we'll discuss that when we get to that point. We'll only do that if you guys want that method, or if you guys want us to continue with all the lessons and then do the revision at the end, it's still fine. So besides that, I want us to look at the different definitions of management. What do you understand by management? What would you say management is? Just in general, if someone says that one is the manager, what do you think that person does at that company? Just roughly. Okay, you'd know that that person is a leader. Yes, that's very correct. What else do you think they do? Someone who is your manager, besides leading you, what else do they do? Okay. Yes.
Controlling.
Yes, they also control you. They are able to say to you, can you stop what you are doing? Do this. They have authority over you. They control the activities that happen within the organization. They have the authority also to allocate resources. Whenever you need something, you go to them. And in general, they are the ones who organize everything within the workplace. You just follow the instructions that they give you. So the first definition of management, we are going to look at a number of definitions of management. I think there is like 8 or so of them, so that you fully understand what management is. Because from here, when we finish the introductory lesson, when we then go forwards into this module, we want to have a full understanding of management. So the first definition is that management is the process of planning, organizing, leading, and controlling resources to achieve organizational goals effectively and efficiently. This, according to me, is the most thorough definition of management, according to me. Now, which resources do managers manage? We said they plan, organize, lead, and control resources. Which resources can you think of that are within the workplace?
Your labor,
Yes, you have human resources.
yeah, and cost,
Yes, you have the finances.
your production,
Let's put it as you have the people, you have the finances, and you have the assets of the
the assets.
organization, maybe
Yes,
machinery and so on. So all
yes,
those, we are expecting the manager to be the one to plan, organize, lead, and control those resources. And they are not only controlling, like, so that everyone sees that they are in charge. They have a mandate. They want to achieve something. What they want to achieve are the organizational goals. So what comes first is the organizational goals. When they have the organizational goals to say, we want to do this and this, then they plan, organize, lead, and control the resources so that they achieve those organizational goals. And then we go further and say they achieve them effectively and efficiently. Now, there is a difference there between effectively and efficiently. But for managers, they need to manage both effectively and efficiently. So when we talk about doing something effectively, we are saying you have achieved that which you wanted to achieve. And then when you do something efficiently, you still have achieved, but with the use of minimum resources. I'll give you an example. If we are working at a place together, maybe let's say Theo and Bali, they are working at this organization, and then they are supposed to produce some goods. They are manufacturing some goods. Let's say it's what? Let's say they are baking bread. They are baking bread. Like, then if they are told, both of them, Theo and Bali, they are given the same resources. When we say the same resources, we are talking time. They are given the same time. They start at 8, they finish at 3 in the afternoon. They go for tea break together at the same time. They go for lunch break at the same time. They are given the same resources. They get the same kgs of flour, of what else do they use for bread? I don't know, milk, eggs, whatever. And they are also given the same type of oven, same things, and they start work. Now, if the manager tells them that per day, I expect you to bake 100 loaves of bread, we count at 3 o'clock, we find Mbali has baked 100 loaves, we find Theo has 100 loaves. What we say there is that they have achieved the goal effectively. Effectively meaning they have met the 100 loaves that they were supposed to meet. And then we then go further and look at efficiently. We find that Mbali only used half of the flour that we gave her. She didn't waste by her work table. It's clean there. Then we look at Theo, 2 kgs is on the floor, spilling all over. The oven was on for too long. Theo used a lot of electricity and so on. So we then say Mbali was efficient because she managed to meet the goals both effectively and efficiently. So what it basically means is that you can be effective but not be efficient. However, when you are efficient, you are also effective. I don't know if that example is making sense there.
Yeah, it's
Are you
clear.
understanding what I'm saying?
Yes.
Makes sense.
Okay. So, as a manager, management is the process of planning, organizing, leading, and controlling resources, financial resources, human resources, assets, machinery, to achieve organizational goals effectively and efficiently. You can have one manager doing the same work with a team of 10 people, and yet another one needs 15 people. The other one is more efficient than the one who is using 15 people. So what do we find from this definition? I've spent a lot of time on this definition because, like I said, this is the ultimate. Every other, all the other 7 or 6 definitions that we are going to come up with, they still, you find that they still come into this one. So this definition, it highlights the key functions of management, including setting objectives, coordinating activities, leading people, and ensuring resources are utilized optimally, meaning efficiently. And we've got an illustration here on the right-hand side, planning, what's happening on planning there, organizing what's happening, controlling, you are monitoring and evaluating, leading, you are leading the employees from the front. So that is the main definition. Then another definition says management is the art. You know, when something is an art, it needs expertise. It's the art of getting things done through people. This is why I said your manager, Mbali and Theo, is not baking bread. Your manager is managing you. So they need to have an expertise. They have to have the art of getting things done through others. That is what management is. The illustration is showing there. There is the leader. He's directing, then the others are doing the hard work. You can see those 3 there. You can definitely see, I think they are, these people look like they are on a boat. These ones are rowing, and that one is just looking ahead. Where do they want to go? And he's directing he's directing the boat where they need to go, but the workers are doing the hard work there. Then this definition emphasizes the role of managers in motivating and guiding individuals or teams to accomplish tasks and objectives. It also takes note of the interpersonal and leadership skills. Third definition, management is a set of objectives and tasks to coordinate and oversee the work of others in order to accomplish organizational objectives. I've put in red the keywords there: coordinate, oversee, accomplish organizational objectives. This definition focuses on the coordination and supervision, and it also emphasizes the role of aligning efforts and resources. So there's an illustration that you are seeing on the screen there. Just out of interest sake, which one of those 3 gentlemen do you think is the manager there? Just from looking at that picture.
The one holding the binoculars.
Yeah.
The one holding the binoculars. Why did you pick that one?
The dressing, the suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
The
the fact
dressing.
that Yeah, the fact that the other one is looking at the chart and the other one is actually pointing to him. So it means they are actually doing the work while he's maybe just seeing if it's done correctly or something.
Yes, yes, that's very true. And I also get a feeling that he has authority. You can see the way the other two are standing. Can you see? Maybe it's just me. Can you see? He seems like to be upright with authority. And the other two, they are like, this is what we have done. Say, look here. The other one is holding a chart, and the other gentleman is pointing out, we have covered that part, and so on. So the manager, he gets the work to be done through others. And what he does is to coordinate and to oversee. And the binoculars, actually, they are a sign of overseeing, looking at everything else. These guys, I'm sure they are working on one part. There is probably another team doing something else, and this manager is going to see again what the other ones have done. That's just me with my creative mind there. But we can clearly see who is the manager. And we now know that the manager is there to coordinate and to oversee, to see how much we are meeting the organizational goals. Then let's look at management from the decision-making point of view. Remember, decisions are made by managers. Every time, even if we disagree at work, we always say, let's go and hear what the manager says. Let's go to the manager. He's going to solve this issue. So there is an element of decision-making in management. Management is the process of making decisions and taking actions to achieve desired outcomes in a dynamic and changing environment. This is another definition. It's focusing on decision making. The illustration is showing a lot of chaos there, and then the manager has to make a decision out of that. There is another illustration. Definition number 5, it says management is the practice of planning, organizing, motivating, and controlling resources to achieve predetermined objectives within a given time frame. So this definition, it emphasizes the systematic approach to management, involving activities such as planning, organizing, motivating employees, monitoring progress. So motivating employees, it's just the same as leading. Then monitoring progress is the same as controlling. So this definition, number 5, is generally the same as number 1. Is it? Yeah, as number 1, this one. Planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. It's just the words which have been put differently. So what do you see from that illustration, the bigger one? What are you seeing there in terms of management? What can you deduce from those pictures, or even just any of the pictures, of the 3 pictures? What comes?
The big one is different people who comes with maybe different ideas or whatever, maybe strategies so that they can achieve the goal. So I'm guessing now, after everybody has presented what they think should be done or the outcome is, then the manager has to make the last decision, or because I'm seeing her just, I think the manager is a lady that is holding a paper,
Yes.
while other people are pointing in, meaning that they bringing in their ideas or strategies or whatever. Then she's just looking around so that she can actually make the final decision. That's what I'm picking up.
Okay, thank you so much. You have taken the words out of my mouth. I wanted to ask, which one do you think is the manager there? For me, also, it's the lady holding the paper. The other guys are hitting the what do you call that board? They are hitting the bull's eye there. they are aiming to hit the, so to me, that's the organizational goal here. So the organizational goal is to throw the arrow into that smallest circle there, and the one with the pink and is it blue, and the one with the white and blue, those are the workers. They are throwing there. There's a lot of decisions to be made. You can see a pie chart, maybe that's finances. You can see a graph there. So that manager has got to make a lot of decisions for these guys to be able to achieve the goals. Then on the smaller picture on top there, I'm seeing a couple of people sitting on the table, and then the one that I assume is the manager is the lady standing again. She's probably overseeing or getting reports. Then this one, what's happening here? They are being taught something. What do you think is happening on the last picture there? Which one do you think is the manager there? The one who is sitting or the one who is standing?
The one standing.
Okay. Why? You think they look like they are presenting something
Yeah.
or teaching
Uh,
something?
yeah, I'll say it's the one.
Is there anyone who thinks it's the lady who is sitting?
Me. I think it's the lady
Okay.
that is on the laptop.
Oh, she's got a laptop, yeah. So that's likely to be the manager. So maybe that guy is presenting something, that a task that he was given, and he's giving feedback to say, I've done this and that. I had not seen that laptop. I think because of the laptop, it's likely to be the lady who is sitting there. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. What we want to achieve is to know what managers do within the workplace. Then we have a number of theories that have tried to define management. Some of these, if you have done human resources, any of you guys doing fundamentals of human resources or introduction to human resources? No one. Oh, okay. Because most of these names are familiar if you have done human resources or if you are doing human resources. These are big names in the management field. So we have a gentleman called Henry Fayo. He's the one who came up with the 14 principles of organizing. He said management is to focus and plan, to organize, to command, to coordinate, and to control. Then we have Mary Parker Follett. This lady, she was studying, she was into motion studies. She wanted to ensure that while people are working, she looks at the physical setup and ensures that they do not waste energy by unnecessary movements. These are the people who then, instead of having the photocopier right at the end of the corridor there. Have you ever seen offices like that where the photocopier is there down there and you need to photocopy one paper, you have to walk there and come back and then realize that you wanted to make 4 copies, you only made 3, then you go back again. That is wasting movement. That time you could have spent it sitting and doing something. So Mary Parker Follett was one of the theorists who studied motions, and they came up basically with a concept like it's cheaper to buy another photocopier and have it nearer in each office or something like that. So she said management is the art of getting things done through people. Then Frederick Taylor, this one is, we call him the father of scientific management. He was an engineer. He wanted to know one best way of doing a task which will make work to be to be more productive. So he said management is the art of knowing what you want to do and then seeing that it is done in the best and cheapest way. We have Harold Kuntz. He's an author. There is a book on management by Harold Kuntz. He said management is the art of getting things done through and with people in formally organized groups. So the key word there is formally. That's the key word there. Then Peter Drucker, again, another author on management, he said it's a multi-purpose organ that manages businesses and manages managers and manages workers and work. He was playing around with words there, but what he's saying is exactly what everyone else is saying. Then Stoner, that's another author. One of the most commonly used management books is by James Stoner. He said it's the process of planning, organizing, leading, and controlling the efforts of organization members and of using all the other resources to achieve stated organizational goals. So those are the definitions of management. Having said this, I think from this introductory class will now move forward with more information of what management is all about. So let's look at the four main functions of management. I did say there is planning. There is planning for you to be able to easily remember the four functions of management. Just remember the acronym POG or PLOC. It's the same. The P stands for planning, O for organizing, L for leading, and C for controlling. So we want to look at planning first. What is planning? Planning means you set goals and create plans to achieve them. So there are different aspects that are involved there. You need to have goal setting. Okay, you need to have goal setting where you come up with organizational goals to know what it is that you want to achieve. If you work without goals, then it's going to be a lot of chaos. Everyone will be very busy, but busy doing nothing. But when you have goals, you can see that people are working towards something. So imagine if you were maybe the five of us, we go to we find jobs as teachers at this school, and then we are told, you know what, just teach them. Just teach them. There's no grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. Just mix them. It doesn't matter. They are not going to write any exams. There are no goals, no exams, nothing. Just be teaching them. Do you know that that will be a lot of chaos? That will be a lot of hard work and all for nothing, because these kids are not going to write exams. No one is going to test them on anything. No one is going to know what it is that we are supposed to achieve with them. Whether I take them for a whole 4 months and they can't even read, I don't have an organizational goal. But if I have an organizational goal to say you are teaching grade 2, by the time you finish 4 months, we need them to be able to write this, to be able to do math, this level, and so on. Then we have goals that we want to achieve. So when you plan, you are setting those goals into perspective. And then you detail the activities and resources that you need to reach those objectives. This is where you sit down and say, we'll start classes at 7. From 7 to 8, they'll be learning math. From 8 to 9, they'll be learning this subject. From this time to this time, they'll be learning this. And then at the end of each week, we are going to have revision tests. You create the plan in detail, and then you establish a roadmap for the future and ensure that all efforts are aligned with organizational goals. You are still on the planning function. You give purpose to the plans so that everyone now knows I need to teach and have these learners in my class to pass to this level. Then the other aspect of management is leading. When you are leading, you are motivating others, you are motivating and directing, guiding the actions of people to go towards a certain direction. So normally we say that motivating is inspiring others to do their best. You can see from the illustration, there is the leader there, the others are following. And the leader, by the way, he leads by example. He goes to the front and then others follow. So he provides direction. We are on the aspects there. The aspects is motivation and direction. He provides clear instructions and guidance. And then also on the purpose, we are saying that inspiring and guiding the team towards achieving organizational goals. So that's a manager there. So as a manager, you start by planning. You plan the organizational goals. What is it that you want to achieve as an organization? How do you want people to achieve it? What roadmap have you set for them? Which departments are going to be where, and so on. Then you lead everyone so that they achieve those goals. And then as a manager, you also need to organize. Do you see that illustration there? The puzzle. They are putting together a puzzle. That's organizing, putting things in place, developing structures for resource deployment. So when you allocate resources, you are organizing. I always say this, and right until the end of the semester, I will still be saying it. Every time you see the word organizing, always think of resource allocation. When you do that, you never go wrong with organizing. So organizing, we are talking about developing structures for the deployment or the allocation of resources. What components are there? We have creating an organizational structure. We also have determining the best way to use the human, the financial, the physical, and the informational resources. What's the purpose of organizing? To ensure the efficient and effective utilization of resources to achieve goals. I won't explain efficient and effective. I think we have covered that. Then lastly, a manager should be able to control. The same way that on organizing, you must think of resource allocation. On controlling, you must know these 4 steps. There's 4 steps that are on the illustration. We have set standards, measure performance, compare performance, and take corrective action. These ones, you have to know them. I've seen this question over and over and over again at Mancosa, the question on controlling. So what are you doing as a manager when you are controlling? You are checking and evaluating performance to make sure that the plans that you set are being met. So the components that are there in controlling, with monitoring the performance, and we also have taking corrective action. And the purpose of controlling is to ensure that the goals are achieved and standards are maintained. So how do we control? We set standards. If you are a manager, let's say you are the production manager, right? You set standards first. When you set a standard, you are saying, my team, given the resources that they have, on a daily basis, I want them to achieve so much and to have rejects or wastages which are below this number or this percentage. So you set the standards. And then you measure what is there on the ground right now. If you have said your team should be producing 100 products with less than 5 rejects, you go and count what they are producing right now. You find that they are producing 90 products and they are having 10 rejects. It means they are below the performance that you want. You are now comparing the performance. That's number 3. You are now comparing, you find they are below the standard. Then you take corrective action and correct them. Or let's look at the other side of the coin. You set the standards. You want them to produce 100 with 5 or less being rejects. You measure the performance. You find they are producing 120 and they don't have any rejects. That is now the comparison. You compare. Instead of taking corrective action, what do you do now as the manager? These people are above your standard. What will you do as the manager? Anyone? I see we have Tsepi who have just joined us. Who joined us at some point. What do you think you would do if you find that you set a standard of 100 and they are producing 120?
For you to, if you have capacity like that, it means you haven't reached your goal, right? If I was a manager, it means that I'll have to set new goals that will lead us more closer to the goal. That's my thought. But again, if they're overperforming, then you can incentivize them to actually perform even better. Give them incentive, days off, and stuff like that. So that's how I'll handle it.
Okay. That's the exact answer which I was looking for. There are two things that you do. Number one, when people are performing above the standard, you make sure, first of all, that your standard is reasonable. Maybe your standard was too low. If you find that it's reasonable and they are still performing above standard, you reinforce. Instead of taking corrective action, you reinforce that positive performance. You reinforce, you give them bonuses, you motivate them to keep on doing well. And then you set the standards again, maybe from 100, just raise it up a little bit, not in a way to make them fail, but to make them keep on achieving more. So those are the two actions that you are going to take. So you either take corrective action or you reinforce the performance that is there. So those are the 4 main functions. Since this is just an introductory lesson, I don't think we should go much further than this. Any questions on anything that we have covered? Does anyone have a question? Okay, I think we'll be meeting on Wednesdays every week at 7 o'clock. So I'm hoping that they won't change the day. Otherwise, it can affect our programs. We need to be able to plan ahead and say that on Wednesday at 7, I have to be in class for this module and so on. So all the best, guys. Have a good night. I hope we meet again next week. For those who didn't manage to come, I don't know, maybe they'll just send them the recording and the slides because the repeating will be kind of boring for the 6 of you who are here today. Okay.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
You too. Bye.